Hey guys, how's it going here? So today I'm continuing to make a sharing tactics videos because yesterday my country have the championship in ASEAN Hyundai Cup. Oh, that's so impressive, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my country. So yeah, yesterday March is so excited. So yeah, I'm appreciate is a football player of my national team. Yeah, so because yesterday my country have the championship, so I can make the video. So today I'm retake it. So yeah, today video is Plato in famous ship of state truth experiment. Michael Vance Boswell's has had a 4.5k likes and 29,434 views. So this video is uploaded on just 2 days ago. So yeah, let's start with. Oh, the effect is different.
Imagine a ship struggling in an endless storm. Its captain, though strong,
Its captain's strong and commanding, is a terrible navigator. Neither he nor his crew have been trained to sail.
Yet they relentlessly
vie for control.
Through
bribery, flattery, and even mutiny.
In the crow's nest sits a
true navigator. But her knowledge of the stars, winds, and seasons
of the stars, winds, and seasons is dismissed
by the crew below.
This dysfunctional
vessel is a ship of state.
Is the ship of state. A thought experiment
devised by Plato
to illustrate his frustration
with democracy.
Specifically,
oh my god.
Functional vessel is the ship of state. A thought experiment devised by Plato to illustrate his frustration
with democracy.
Specifically,
the kind of democracy practiced in Athens.
From the 5th
to 4th century BCE.
Unlike the forms of
representative democracy practiced today,
where voters
elect representatives and enact legislation on their behalf.
Representatives to enact legislation on their behalf. Athenians
used a type of direct democracy.
While
Athenian jurors and most officials were selected by lotteries rather than election.
Every
law voted on directly by citizens of Athens.
Voted on directly by the citizens of Athens. Specifically,
free men born to Athenian parents. Women, foreigners, and enslaved individuals had no voting power.
Foreigners and enslaved individuals had no voting power. Plato
thought the system was destined for ruin.
The system was destined for ruin. and despite the
many differences between Athens' government,
differences between Athens' government and modern representative
modern representative democracies,
many of his fears
still ring true today.
One of Plato's two
major concerns with direct democracy
major concerns with direct democracy was its vulnerability.
What is vulnerability to charismatic public speakers. Since laws were voted on in the assembly, confident orators could sway public opinion for their own benefit. In fact, this kind of speech was considered so powerful. A class of paid tutors called sophists emerged.
To educate
wealthy families in the art of persuasion. As a result, Plato-filled democracy rewarded the strongest speakers.
Plato felt democracy rewarded the strongest speakers, not those with
true political expertise aimed at public welfare.
True political expertise aimed at public welfare. His second
concern was democracy's obsession with freedom.
Democracy's obsession with freedom. In the Republic, he outlined
how the license to do whatever one wants. Would lead people to prioritize their own desires over the common good.
In the short term,
Plato believes this weaken societal's cohesions.
Plato believed this would weaken societal cohesion and erode respect
for the rule of law.
But in the long term,
he worries this ever-increasing chaos would lead to backlash.
He worried this ever-increasing chaos would lead to a backlash, a yearning
for orders that would make people vulnerable.
To a charismatic
leaders promising stability at the cost of liberty.
Promising stability at the cost of liberty. In Plato's
opinion,
all
democratic systems were doomed to eventually elect a silver-tongued tyrant.
Systems were doomed to eventually elect a silver-tongued tyrant who exploits the very freedoms that made democracy possible. Plato's early solutions to these problems, including
handing power to elite philosopher kings.
Power to elite philosopher kings leave much to be desired. But in his final
work, the laws, Plato combined democracy and monarchy into a new system.
Bind democracy and monarchy into a new system he hoped would be stable
and enduring.
To explain his idea,
Plato docked his unruly ship of state. And created a new model, the city of Magnesia. In this imaginary land, everything is designed to congregate the issues of direct democracy,
designed to counteract the issues of direct democracy while empowering
citizens to be morally and politically engaged.
Citizens to be morally and politically engaged. Instead of leaving
citizens vulnerable to smooth talkers, Magnesia weave persuasions directly into its laws.
Persuasion directly into its laws. Each law
is paired with prelude that outlines the logic behind the law.
Paired with a prelude that outlines the logic behind the law and connect it
to shared societal values.
For example,
Plato feared that false beliefs about the gods.
Plato feared that false beliefs about the gods would undermine justice. So in
Magnesia, atheism and impiety are illegal.
Atheism and impiety are illegal. But rather than
relying solely on the fear of punishment,
to prevent these crimes, the
law against them contain philosophical arguments.
Designed to
today is too rainy. It was heavy right now, so yeah, my sound is getting louder. So I'm so sorry about this problem. Designed to convince citizens to adhere to Magnesia's official religions.
To Magnesia's official religion. Moral
education is everywhere in Magnesia.
And is designed
to instill shared responsibility. This way, citizens can retain the individual's freedom they value.
Under democracy. But their
personal goals are more likely to align with the common good. Even so, Plato still recommends safeguards against corruption. Many of Magnesia's most powerful positions are held collectively.
Magnesia's most powerful positions are held collectively rather than
individually.
And
strict regulations on buying and selling land.
Prevent wealth from
pooling in the pockets of an elite minority. Obviously, Magnesia is far from perfect.
Plato's
education regime is borderline cultist.
And its constitution
requires extremely time-consuming civics engagement.
Extremely time-consuming civic engagement from every citizen. Then
again, creating an ideal society probably would take time, attention.
Creating an ideal society probably would take time, attention, and education. Your
perfect world might not look like Plato's.
Might not look like Plato's, but it will
likely require a serious commitment from its citizens.
To guide their
ship of state to a brighter horizon.
of state to a brighter horizon. Keep sharpening your reasoning skills with these videos and subscribe to our channel. You never know when you'll need the tools to navigate a moral conundrum.
Literally love it. Watch it. Sumo. What the heck? The subtitle. Okay, the next sentence is: the object in sumo is simple. Knock your opponent out of the circle or down to the ground. So yeah, this is the rule of the sumo. The truth when in the word is Carmen San Diego.
In 1772,
amateur sumo wrestlers in present days Niigata.
Amateur sumo wrestlers in present-day Niigata were performing
to raise money for a local temple. When a pair of sumo pros crashes their event.
Sumo pros crashed their event. These wrestlers
from the Tokyo Sumo Guild
claimed that only
their guild has the right to charge audiences admissions.
Their guild had the right to charge audiences admission. But when the pros
tried making off with the ticket money,
one was killed
and the others barely escaped alive. Back in Tokyo, the guild took their case to magistrate.
They argued that
they accused us because they were the only
guild that
adhered to sumo's more ancient practices.
Sumo's most ancient practices.
No other performers in the country were legitimate. The magistrate accepted this claim.
But surprisingly, these
so-called ancient practices were actually recent invention.
so-called ancient practices were actually recent inventions. So, what were
these fabricated traditions?
these fabricated traditions, and how do they relate
And how do they relate to sumo true history?
to sumo's true history? Our earliest reliable
records of sumo come from the 8th century.
Records of sumo come from the 8th century, when performances were
held as entertainment for annual court banquets. During these events, wrestlers were summoned from across Japan.
Wrestlers were summoned from across Japan as a demonstration
of the emperor's influence.
of the emperor's influence. Initially, these wrestlers
would punch, thrust, and grab their opponent.
would punch, scratch, and grab their opponents, claiming victory by
forcing their hands or knee to the ground.
But
Eventually, matches began focusing on grappling and tripping
matches began focusing on grappling and tripping techniques. Over time, power
shifts from the emperor and his court
shifted from the emperor and his court to their hired soldiers,
the
samurai, and official court sumo
ended in 11 and 74.
Ended in 1174.
However, samurai leaders, still hostile leaders, perform less formal sumo bouts.
Samurai leaders still had soldiers perform less formal sumo bouts for exercise
And entertainment.
Throughout
Imperial and samurai rule,
sumo
was performed across Japan for sport, spectacle, and material training.
across Japan for sport, spectacle, and martial training. But in the 1400s, it took on a new
But in the 1400s, it took a new function, fundraising.
Fundraising. Shrines and temples began hosting performances to raise money
for construction and repairs.
And
since skilled performers brought in more customers,
brought in more customers,
event promoters were eager to enlist the best
wrestlers. This led
performers to create the first sumo guilds,
ensuring steady
employment and improving their working conditions.
Once wrestlers
could reliably make money through sumo,
they became
eager to perform for as many paying customers as possible. Enterprising young men put on rowdy street corner sumo performances, hoping to attract the donations of passerby. Lacking the organization of formal performances. These bouts often resulted in fights and injuries
among both participants
and spectators.
So it didn't take long
for samurai authorities to crack down. Periodically ban all forms of sumo in larger cities.
Banning all forms of sumo in larger cities. Wrestlers and
organizers knew they needed to make changes to overcome these bans.
Organizers knew they needed to make changes to overcome these bans. First, they
established embroideries to separate spectators from participants.
Established a boundary to separate spectators from participants. This
boundary took many forms.
But
over the 17th century, it morphed into a standard ring called the dohyo.
Century, it morphed into a standard ring called the dohyo. This ring outlined
the field of play, introducing pivotal new rule.
The field of play, introducing a pivotal new rule.
Now matches could also be won by pushing one's opponent out of the dohyo.
This could also be won by pushing one's opponent out of the dohyo. This innovation increased
the advantage of heavier wrestlers.
The advantage of heavier wrestlers whose weight already helped them topple
their opponents. But sumo's journey to become a respectable sport really took off.
Sumo's journey to become a respectable sport really took off when
promoters began introducing rituals.
To associate
sumo with Japan's ancient past.
With Japan's ancient past. Wrestlers
threw sword in the ring.
salt in the ring and rinse their mouths
with water before matches.
with water before matches. Actions that
Evoke ancient religious ceremonies.
ancient religious ceremonies. These invented traditions
This invented tradition imbued the sport with cultural legitimacy,
imbued the sport with cultural legitimacy,
convincing authorities that sumo was above board.
authorities that sumo was above board.
One notable ritual emerged in 1789
ritual emerged in 1789 when the Tokyo
Guilds began having their top-ranked wrestlers
Guild began having their top-ranked wrestlers perform a ring
and entering ceremony wearing a scarf robe called yokozuna.
entering ceremony wearing a sacred robe called the yokozuna. This innovation became so
Popular.
the shogun himself
The shogun himself summoned the troops for a performance,
summoned the troop for a performance, giving
the legitimacy not just to the Tokyo Guilds,
not just to the Tokyo Guild, but
specifically to their traditions.
to their invented traditions. After the shogunate
was overthrown in 1868.
was overthrown in 1868,
Sumo was seen as a dead relic and briefly fell out of fashion.
as a dated relic and briefly fell out of fashion. But the sport gradually remade
itself for the modern era.
itself for the modern era. And today Japan
hosts 50 days tournaments every year,
holds 6 15-day tournaments every year, all of which are
broadcast worldwide.
New technology has brought
advantages like instant replays, while other innovations were introduced to evoke the ancient past. And over the last century, the average body weight in the upper divisions has increased by over 60 kilograms. But throughout its changes, sumo has sustained its status as beloved form of entertainment.
Sustained its status as a beloved form of entertainment.
A grand display of strength and an ode to national traditions.
Display of strength and an ode to national traditions. Both real
and invented.
If you enjoy learning about history, subscribe to this channel. Because the lessons of yesterday can help us face the challenges.
Expect TEDx. We have another history channel. It's called Simply Defined. I don't remember that. I don't remember his name. Story. I don't remember. Here. His name here. This man. But for 1 year they don't upload some videos. Yeah. They don't upload anything. Here oversimplified, don't upload the videos for 1 year now. Yeah, I think each year they have 2 videos but now for 1 year they don't have any videos. It's too long time. Scary history. Okay, simple history. This is a can not. This is the England history of
This video is
Britain.
sponsored by Magellan.
You can watch this to improve your English. So yeah, we have 50 seconds. Leave your comment to improve my videos. And yeah, if you want to watch the origin videos, here, I forgot it. Share, copy the link. Okay, if you want watching the origin videos, so click on the description, click on the link. I have pinned it, and subscribe my channel to click on the bell to get a notification of my news video. Like and remember, yeah, I don't have anything to talk because yesterday I'm so happy for my country and have many things in yesterday. So yeah, it's all today. Ta-ta for now. See you tomorrow. Bye.